Now, natural systems always tend towards more diversity rather than less. Just go have a look at a woodland, look at the prairie, look at any kind of natural system, and you'll see an abundance of plants and animals. Soon as we try and go against that and impose some sort of monoculture into that system, we're going to have to spend an increasing amount of time, energy, and money to keep it in that particular monoculture. So that's part of the principle that we want to look at in this video. Now, in a city garden or in an organic garden or a row crop field, obviously there are limits to the amount of diversity that we can bring. So let's try and unpack this whole notion of diversity. What is it? Well, in terms of keeping plants or annual plants, we can divide plants up into warm season plants, cool season plants, broadleaves and grasses, and then also we can talk about legumes. So that's a really useful way to do it. And in general, you don't want to follow say a warm season broadleaf with another warm season broadleaf. You'd like to change up between warm and cool season and broadleaf and grasses. Dr. Mark Liebig from the ARS in North Dakota has developed a very useful chart that names some of the species in these categories. So we like to use his chart. Now, I've also seen a few really good websites that have been developed by commercial cover crop seed manufacturers that help you calculate your diversity index, which is really great. So remember, the diversity is not only for your cover crops, but can also be for cash crops. It's worthwhile to add that after a conference where I was espousing the 4 principles of soil health, a farmer came up to me and reminded me that one of the most important principles of soil health is what actually comes out of a cow's rear end. Dr. Short Dacre calls it the magic of manure. So whether it is manure from a grazing animal or manure that's spread, manure is something that adds to the biodiversity of the soil and is of a huge help. And we like to include that in our diversity thought. When it comes to diversity, Eric and Robbie grow over 100 cash crop species, so they rarely have any issue with a crop rotation, and nothing ever grows in the same place twice. In my own garden, I have far fewer species, but typically I'm not seeing anything growing twice in the same place from one year to the next as well. And then we're always going to mix it up with cover crops. Eric and Robbie, again, like their single species covers, but because they've got so much diversity in their cash crops, it's really not an issue. Many farmers are able to introduce diversity through really great crop rotations where they might have 5 or 6 or 7 different species that they might rotate over the course of 4 or 5 years. Jason doesn't have this luxury for various reasons, and he's restricted to a full season corn and soybean rotation. So for him, he likes to get his diversity in his cover crop, which started off at about 3 species, but now runs, he likes to keep about 6 or 7 species in the mix, and he's always trying new species as well. Not all of these species are going to thrive, but from one year to the next, you'll see different ones dominating, different ones interacting in the system. Jason also likes to add between 1 and 2 tons of chicken litter, and this is also added to the growth of his cover crop. One of the things that we've seen on Jason's farm is that despite the fact that he has not applied lime for the last 4 years, we have actually seen his soil pH increase steadily over this time. In addition, he has not applied phosphorus. Well, that's obvious because he's been putting chicken litter on, but neither has he applied any commercial potassium. We think that his cover crops are going down and pulling that potassium up from the subsoil. In fact, we measure around about 300 pounds per acre of potassium in the field. Finally, Jason manages to grow 175 bushel corn on 50 units of nitrogen. He relies on all the other nitrogen to come from his chicken litter and his cover. So he's saving a lot of money and keeping his yields the same, and in fact possibly increasing them a little bit. I've tried to pack a lot of information into this short video series, and I know there are a lot of overlaps. But I do hope that this information, along with the information from the science of soil health and other sources, will get you on your way towards a life that's good for the farmer and the gardener, good for your pocketbook, and good for your way of life. And while our Science of Soil Health video series has come to a close, This is just the beginning of our soil health adventure. We have so much to learn, so much ground to cover, and I'm excited for the next generation of farmers that we have. Whether you're a farmer, a gardener, or even an informed consumer, I want to thank you for all you're doing to help us build our soils. This is Buz Kloot. So long for now.